The man we're about to meet is the devil.
I'm not a bad guy.
Right.
I'm the bad guy.
I sold $1 million in merch.
Everybody's mind is blown.
You know what's even crazier? I did the same thing the next day.
Scammed your audience 20 times. The most brilliant fraud we've ever seen.
Pay your fans back.
Scamming Dennis, huh? Dylan, the difference between you and I is
what?
I'm rectifying my situation.
How?
And I didn't
How?
scam anyone.
How?
He hasn't paid anyone.
Today he has 22.7 million subscribers on YouTube and he's making over $23 million a year from 6 income streams.
Logan Paul is finally paying back millions of dollars that he allegedly scammed from victims.
Prime Hydration, little company that I started with my ex-rival KSI, grossed $1.2 billion in revenue.
Logan Paul climbed up from a difficult and at times violent home all the way up to crypto millionaire status. And on that journey, he became hated by the entire planet. But how did he get there? And can you become a millionaire by following the same footsteps as Logan Paul? This video will tell you, but warning, after watching the dark and twisted story of Logan Paul, you might never be the same again.
Alright, how's it going? Yeah, we just want to make videos and put them on YouTube. Sometimes these videos may be like really stupid.
Why they tried to arrest me last time.
What do we have here today? What's it good for?
What up?
Logan Paul began on Vine with his brother Jake. Both him and his brother pushed the boundaries of what is socially acceptable. But with their edgy humor, they soon gathered a tremendous following. At the same time, Logan was developing a work ethic that would later pave the groundwork for his future success. If he wasn't at school, he was wrestling. And if he wasn't wrestling, then he was doing building work, helping his dad turn rundown houses into runaway profits. When Vine collapsed, Logan took to YouTube. His daily vlog was focused on one thing: Logan. Whereas other famous vloggers like David Dobrik featured many people in their videos, Logan's ego wouldn't allow anyone else to share the center stage. But Logan churned out video after video, day after day, and after each one he raised the bar, more exciting, more crazy than the last. He challenged Will Smith to go bungee jumping. He bought the world's biggest pumpkin. He jumped out of a plane with no clothes on. And he even got trapped in a cage with giant sharks. But there was one video that took it too far, and as soon as he clicked to make the video go public, he became the most hated man in America. He had literally filmed a dead body, and what made it worse was the complete lack of sensitivity he expressed whilst doing it.
Those idiots don't even know where we live.
Him and his friends were laughing and sniggering the whole time.
I really hate to say this. I think there's someone right there. There's no going back. I've seen things I can't unsee.
We found a body.
Yup! What the fuck? I gotta say, this is top 5 craziest things I've ever experienced in my life. Me smiling and laughing is not a portrayal of how I feel about the circumstances.
It's just your coping mechanism.
So everyone copes with differently.
You cope with it with humor.
If you guys haven't noticed, I do. I cope with things with humor. While this is incredibly sad, it's crazy.
YouTube removed the video for breaching community guidelines. Sponsors cut ties with Logan. No one wanted to be associated with someone that could do such a terrible thing. Logan would even get sued by a production company because of the incident. But in a sick and twisted way, not all of the consequences were bad for Logan. The incident gave him publicity all around the world, and his following grew as a result. He went from 15 million subscribers in December 2016 to 20 million in December 2017. Now, Logan did make an apology.
I've made a severe and continuous lapse in my judgment, and I don't expect to be forgiven. I'm simply here to apologize. So what we came across that day in the woods was obviously unplanned. None of us knew how to react or how to feel. I should have never posted the video. There's a lot of things I should have done differently, but I didn't. And for that, from the bottom of my heart, I am sorry. But most importantly, I want to apologize to the victim and his family. I'm just here to apologize. I'm ashamed of myself, and I promise to be better. I will be better. Thank you.
I normally look at the comments to get an idea of what people thought of like apology videos, but most of his comments were just jokes about the apology. I don't think his audience cared very much, to be honest. And Logan went on to make a documentary about suicide, a video that touched the hearts of many. But what I really don't like about this video, in this video, Logan just keeps talking about himself and his redemption story, which makes it glaringly obvious that this movie wasn't made with the main aim of supporting vulnerable people, but instead to save Logan Paul's precarious career.
I know I've made mistakes. I know I've let people down. But what happens when you're given an opportunity to help make a difference in the world?
The backlash against the social media star.
Very popular guy called
Logan Paul is in some hot
I think he's a complete and utter insensitive idiot.
taking a break from daily vlogging.
Even he says his latest content was his biggest mistake.
I want to apologize to the victim and his family.
It's time to learn from the past as they get better and grow as a human being. I'm here to have a hard conversation so that those who are suffering can have easier ones.
Logan would also go on to upload a video of him tasering a dead rat, which really shows how much he learned from the situation.
Oh wait, are we using weapons for this?
I'm not gonna use my bare hands.
Yeah, you're right. Here, no rat comes into my house without getting tased. Die!
Oh, he's already dead.
Why?
Get him!
Why?
No rat comes into my house without getting tased. Okay, so the rats are definitely dead. Here, Lydia, I think I've made this easier for you.
But there was one person that wouldn't let Logan off so easily. Casey Neistat.
Is this a fluff piece to make people feel better about Logan Paul?
No, not at all. It's from. When you say fluffy,
Like a bullshit video. Is the video about how you've learned to better empathize with others, or is the video about making it easier for people to sympathize with you?
I don't think people should, can, or will sympathize with me. Let's be honest, Casey.
I thought this bit was quite a good response from Logan, to be fair. The next bit's harder to justify though.
Days later, you're shooting a dead mouse.
Yeah, the rat was me becoming obsessed with the idea of being a villain. When the whole world hates you, I'm gonna be the guy they think I am.
Wasn't that a direct contradiction to everything you had just put out about how you're changing?
Yeah.
These videos were inside of a week.
While I can still be a good person, I'm also still the guy who takes things to extreme.
Which is basically saying you haven't changed because you're justifying the action based on your personality.
That's who I am. That's the brand of Logan Paul.
But who you are and the brand of Logan Paul was what got you into that situation. And that's why you need to learn. But I will acknowledge this was a few years ago, so hopefully he's come a long way.
The fastest, the biggest, the best.
Right, and it's that led you to the...
I will say, what we did in that video was the attempt with the forest video. Beginning, middle, and end. I made it very clear that it is okay to feel ostracized and alone. What's not okay is holding those feelings in.
It's hard to believe that that's what the suicide forest video is about when you guys are laughing. The thing that bothered me the most about the video was your excitement. You were excited to have found a dead body.
Not really.
Beginning of the video was like something you've never seen on YouTube before. That is what affected me the most about that video.
All that fucking matters to me right now is the fight. August 25th. Get your tickets. Link in bio.
Alright, thank you. Thank you for doing this entire interview without plugging your merch once.
At shop. Be a
like, why would you finish that interview by plugging your merch? Like, I get it's a joke, but it's just seeming to completely lack awareness for the seriousness of his actions. Does he take it seriously at all? The ramification of Logan's actions would ultimately reverberate across the entire platform, stealing a living from thousands of creators. You see, there was something called Ad-Pocalypse. This was where thousands of creators became very wary of advertising on YouTube and pulled their ads from the platform. As a result, creators started getting paid far less money for their hard work. But it didn't stop there, because YouTube scrambled to try and plug the flood of advertisers pouring out of the platform. They did this by becoming very strict with monetization, and some channels found that 90% of their videos got demonetized. One study found that creators lost $7.5 billion in ad revenue as a result. And all of this can potentially be attributed to one person, Logan Paul. The redemption of Logan Paul. But following this, over time, people started to forgive Logan. Sunny V2 even made a 19-minute video essay on the redemption of Logan Paul.
Not only did Logan's reputation recover, it's somehow gone well beyond recovery.
Not gonna lie, I used to hate Logan. He's actually a lot more mature now, and I respect him for that. I hate to say it too, man, Logan Paul has grown on me too.
How did such a transition occur? He would treat almost being cancelled as a massive joke.
Delete Logan Paul's YouTube channel, check it out. 533,029 have signed. I'm signing it.
He clearly couldn't care less about what anyone thought of him.
Half of them are telling you to go get run over by a car. But that's engagement, bro. I'll take it.
The fact that Logan Paul seemed totally unaffected by the event led his audience to think of it as not such a big deal.
My name is Logan Paul, I guess podcaster?
Logan Paul would launch the Impulsive podcast. Now, there are a few elements of this podcast that made it so Logan was almost forced to increase his level of maturity. Firstly, the guests that were being interviewed were often high status, considering Logan was interviewing more mature guests, and many had to adopt a more mature attitude in order to match their vibe.
With Logan Paul's reputation back on point, he was able to roll out a dark plan, a plan that could make him a millionaire. Logan started making jokes about a crypto project called Doink, and he noticed that the more jokes he made about the project, the more the price went up. Now Doink was kind of a joke crypto, right? It even had its own music video.
Doink, you're my favorite coin.
You could buy Doink coins. Logan Paul and his crew released videos that ironically hyped up the project.
What up, Doink Telegram? It's me, Logan Paul. Now I know what you're thinking. Logan, what the fuck are you doing here? I'm doing the same thing as you. Holding my Doink. This is a shit coin I believe in. It's my favorite one, to be honest.
Dink is cleared to be the hottest coin ever.
These videos were, in theory, only supposed to go to the developers, but of course the videos all got leaked. And I'll leave it up to you to decide whether that was Logan's intention all along, but there was a bit of a dark secret. You see, Logan wasn't just a YouTuber that found it funny, he was actually one of the people that created Doink.
Logan Paul is far from just a guy who found out about this coin, because in a podcast with the Doink CEO, he said that Logan Paul created the thing.
We might as well be honest about how this came about. I was chilling with Logan. We were like, what's the stupidest name we could think of for like a coin? Logan designed the character.
So you design it and then you go, wow, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. It's your thing. If you thought of it, take credit. But I think he doesn't want to, because obviously it looks bad if you're pumping your own little Ponzi coin.
Logan Paul would do his biggest advertisement yet for the project. The price of Doink soared, but not for long. Afterwards, it curiously plummeted through the floor. All of this made it look very much like Logan Paul rug pulled the project, hyping it up and then selling all of his coins, destroying the project and all of the fans that had trusted his advice. It hasn't been proven either way, and Logan refuses to answer questions on Doink.
True that you created the character for Doink and were involved in it from the beginning.
Dude, I am not saying shit about that shit coin. Doink, no, bro, no. I just, now you have to respect what I'm asking, is that I'm not going to talk about Dink.
So it looks like he made millions by scamming his audience, but we will probably never know for sure. However, during the period, Logan wasn't just getting accused of scams, he was also getting accused of animal abuse, because his animals, they seem to keep dying.
Bro, I have so many animals, this is ridiculous. Got 2 pigs, 3 dogs, a turtle, and a parrot.
Whether it was his parrot, the Maverick, which got eaten by his dog.
I just found out that Maverick died. My parrot, the iconic Maverick the parrot, died from my disgusting dogs, my canines.
The piglet that he got, that he allegedly gave away once it became too big.
An animal sanctuary showed an abandoned pig, Pearl. They had reason to believe that Pearl belonged to an influencer who bought them as a piglet for content. And speculation began to spread that the pig belonged to Logan himself. See, Logan Paul once had a pig named Pearl who he specifically said he didn't expect to get big. Logan said he rehomed Pearl because he was unable to take her to Puerto Rico, where he currently lives. I'm sure Logan had a really good reason to move to Puerto Rico.
I feel like people are wondering why Puerto Rico, right? Tax. It's one vertical. It's a big one.
So an incredibly wealthy content creator left behind this pet that he apparently loved, so that now the number in his bank account is slightly higher.
And apparently this is something that happens quite a lot, where influencers buy piglets and later get rid of them once they stop being cute. Logan would even be blamed for causing the death of his dog, Kong. Logan was out at the time and Kong was roaming the yard. Logan lives in LA and coyotes are rampant in the area. One such coyote came into the yard one day and, seeing Kong as a bit of a tasty snack, snapped up the dog, never to be seen again. People blame Logan, even though he wasn't there, because they think it was normal for Kong to be roaming the yard, and it was just a coincidence that Logan wasn't there.
Somehow, all of Logan Paul's pets keep dying. One of the pets we talked about was his dog, Kong, that he let roam his yard by himself, and the dog was tragically killed by coyotes. As the owner of small dogs in Los Angeles, you know that coyotes are rampant. You cannot leave your small dog in the yard unattended, because there's a good chance it's going to get eaten by coyotes.
Logan vowed that he would get vengeance for Kong, so he went hunting time and time again for coyotes. One time, he fired some kind of crossbow device in the dark. He admits that he couldn't really see what he was firing at, but it turns out it was a coyote. People expressed anger at this. He could have easily been killing a dog, or a cat from a neighbor.
My dog got eaten by a coyote. They jumped over my 8-foot-tall spiked fence, killed my son, and I made a vow that I was gonna hunt down and kill these fucking coyotes. Yeah. I see the 2 coyotes and they're coming right at me. So I slowly turn, take my bow, I pull it back. I mark my aim at this coyote and I'm following it. It goes into the shadows. I forgot it's fucking dark and I'm colorblind. I can't see anything in the dark. So I'm like tracking what I think is the coyote. He gets across from me, pull the trigger.
You shot your neighbor's dog.
Blood splatters, and there's the fucking coyote. I wanted to get taxidermied licking its own ass.
Very weird in the continued series of Logan's lack of sanctity for life.
But Logan Paul's next incident would perhaps be the biggest scam that YouTube has ever seen. The $1 billion scam. Logan launched a project called Crypto Zoo.
This is how it was supposed to work. You started by buying this crypto token called Zoo, and you use Zoo coins to then buy egg NFTs, which you can then hatch to become animals. That animal earns you every day, almost like passive income. Now, some of you of the Egyptian persuasion might notice some triangular qualities.
Logan claimed that people were going to make money from this.
It's a really fun game that makes you money.
I lost around $50,000 in Crypto Zoo.
I lost $40,000, $15,000 US dollars, $120,000.
But people bought into the hype that Logan Paul was drumming up. The market cap of the project went up to $2 billion, making Logan Paul a crypto millionaire overnight. And all of this was before the game had even launched. Logan claimed that his team had invested $1 million in the project.
We have a massive team behind it and are probably out of pocket like $1 million.
And this was what caused an investigative YouTuber called CoffeeZilla to investigate. In fact, he made a 3-part series on the scam because it didn't make sense. Where did the $1 million go? Logan had claimed that the art for the creatures was handmade, but that definitely didn't seem to be where the money went.
This should be amazing artwork. And to my surprise, the photos of Crypto Zoo are basically stock photos from Adobe that have been poorly photoshopped. I mean, look at that. Penguin plus shark. Penguin shark. Need I say more? Look at their white paper. Meet the panda font. And then you have this abomination. Now, to confirm these were taken from Adobe, I went and I hunted down this exact image. And here it is. Cute, giant panda. Can you see similarities? But either no one noticed or no one cared because everyone immediately bought them within minutes. And I calculated how much this netted Logan Paul. It's $1.3 million.
But there was one day that was going to change the project forever. Hatch Day. That was the day where the eggs would hatch and investors were finally gonna get a new creature from their egg that they had bought. But there was a problem. The eggs, they didn't hatch.
Wait, you can't even hatch? No, I'm telling you, it's just a picture. You're kidding! You can't hatch?
I want to highlight that Logan Paul denies this.
You're kidding. You can't hatch?
You can't hatch?
Yeah, 1 second of research would prove that to be false, as you can definitely hatch eggs and even breed your animals.
Click on that. Oh, we got a duck.
But on the hatch day itself, it looks like the hatching didn't work because the price fell drastically. And then Logan disappeared. He stopped promoting the project altogether, at least for a few months. Then he started to talk about a new secret project. This got everyone excited. Maybe Crypto Zoo was finally going to come to fruition. But then there was this awkward encounter.
I'll tell you about this project when we get closer to launch. This project line is going to be...
Is that the thing with the egg? Like the zoo?
No.
Okay, this one's
going to be it, yeah. This will be great. We've ever done.
Oh man, can you imagine if you're one of these investors?
Logan later revealed that the reason Crypto Zoo had frozen was because the developer had flown to Switzerland and held the code hostage. But this really wasn't the full story, as it turns out the developers hadn't been paid, so of course they weren't going to finish the project. CoffeeZilla called Jeff to ask for comment. Jeff had no comment, but in fact Jeff didn't seem too happy about the call.
I have no comment. Your job is to actually verify correct news.
Right, that's why I'm calling you.
Okay, but I'm just letting you know, if you report anything on us, fake news, that's where we won't, you know.
One big mistake that Logan Paul appeared to make is that he hired completely the wrong people though. He hired Eddie Ibanez. Eddie Ibanez was brought on to be part of the leadership for the project. Now, he certainly had an impressive CV. He won the Super Bowl. He was an MIT grad. He even worked for the CIA. But it was all a lie. Eddie's entire story was fake.
This reporter says Eddie's entire story is fake. Can you tell me about some of the lies Eddie told you?
Eddie has told me so many lies over the course of my 2 interviews with him. And the first lie he told me, which is that he's an orphan. I found a video of Eddie and his wife. Eddie's wife explained that she learned the recipe from Eddie's mother.
And Eddie didn't really have the knowledge of how to build a complex platform like Crypto Zoo. One of the other team members, Crypto King, that was brought on as an advisor, went as far as to blame Eddie Ibanez as being the reason why the project failed.
Actually,
the biggest reason it failed.
in my opinion.
The other team member that probably shouldn't have been hired was Jake, the crypto king himself. He was there from the very beginning. But it wasn't long before something went wrong. Someone bought $200,000 worth of coins, and that person was the Crypto King, despite the fact that he was only supposed to be a small advisor to the project. Definitely a bit dodgy, but Logan had a plan that would put everything right, even if it would screw over his own people. Logan's team released a new coin, a coin that was a replica of the old coin, in every way except for one thing. That some of the old coins were frozen. Guess whose? Yep, the Crypto King's money was lost in an instant. Crypto King wasn't very happy.
Jake texts, the Zoo team made a major error this weekend. 80+ billion Zoo tokens were confiscated from me today. Logan, you stole $40 million. You're a scammer. You're a con artist, all that stuff. You betrayed your community. The reality is you aren't that guy. And Logan responds, oh, Jake, trust me, bro. I am that guy.
Logan and Jeff never sold their crypto, which is to their credit. But the project was a disaster. Thousands of people had invested their hard-earned cash. And what did they get back? Empty promises and crypto coins that did, well, nothing.
This is ultimately what happens when you have an influencer LARPing as a businessman. It's what happens when you have a liar LARPing as a developer. And it's what happens when you have a shady crypto guru LARPing as a crypto king. You end up with a mess. And in my personal opinion, a fraud as well.
What did this loss mean to me? It meant a lot. It was some kind of broken dream.
Everything that I've just said to you was unearthed as part of CoffeeZilla's investigation. But Logan Paul wasn't very happy with all this, and he released an angry response. You can literally see his eyes bulging out of their sockets.
CoffeeZilla, you're slimiest. Take a little nap. Take a little annoying nap.
Logan blamed the developers for being bad people.
The developer stole the game code, fled to Switzerland, and held it hostage for $1 million. Surely, as the internet detective that you proclaim to be, you would know that he spent time in prison for multiple felonies.
Logan blamed his team for hiring bad people. Logan blamed everyone except Logan, as usual. He was mad about CoffeeZilla recording Jeff's phone call, which he said was illegal.
The illegal recording of Jeff's phone call without his permission. And then, like an internet criminal, post it online.
By the way, it wasn't illegal, because CoffeeZilla was recording from Texas, where it is legal to record with one-party consent. But Logan was especially mad because he was saying that he was still building Crypto Zoo. So why was CoffeeZilla so mad about a scam when the real product was still under construction?
See, even though I've said it's coming so many times, you've assumed that Crypto Zoo isn't being made. Who are you to decide when the development timeline ends? Crypto Zoo is coming. I will make damn sure of it.
I did enjoy Logan's ending because eternal references to his redemption continued.
And honestly, it sucks that after years of personal reform, busting my ass to evolve into a person that I can say I'm actually proud of, you led the charge to drive and monetize a narrative telling millions of people that I'm a fraud or I tried to scam my audience.
And then Logan dropped the big bombshell that he would be suing CoffeeZilla.
And I'll see you in court.
As you can imagine, CoffeeZilla was gearing up for the ultimate response video to finally put Logan back in his place. But something interesting happened. The people in the comments, they didn't side with Logan, not even on his own video, and Logan felt pressure to change his tune on the situation. In fact, he released an apology video that was pretty much walked back on everything that he said previously.
CoffeeZilla is not a criminal. I called him, I apologized. My initial response to his series was that of fire, an ego flare, whatever it is, pride. I'm a fighter at heart, and I was defensive because I know I never scammed anyone, never made any money. Suing CoffeeZilla is not going to help Crypto Zoo holders, so I do need to focus my attention where it should be.
The good news is that it included a promise to pay back over $1 million to the victims of Crypto Zoo.
We want to offer a rewards program for players who are disappointed, and I am personally committing 1,000 ETH to this, which is about $1.3 million.
But he put this apology on his second channel, so that not many people would see it. CoffeeZilla responded to Logan's apology video, first by showing a few clips of all the nasty things Logan had said about Coffee before he changed his tune.
The defamation lawsuit, that is happening. This is wrong. This is wrong.
Coffee was happy that about $1.3 million being refunded to the victims. He said that this is generally positive for Logan's fans.
This is a big change in tone, and honestly, a lot of this is good news. It's great that victims are going to get something back. He's not suing me, and frankly, this new response is just way better.
But Coffee also highlighted that lots of people that were affected by the scam wouldn't be made whole by the situation. Coffee also identified that although Logan seemed sorry in his video, it's not clear that he actually was, because there were messages that show that he felt as though he was the actual victim.
Logan says, please do not put any more money into Crypto Zoo. But then somebody follows up and says, guys, can someone explain what he said? But rather than replying, I don't want anyone else recklessly gambling, Logan replies instead, quote, I will no longer be the scapegoat for anyone's financial decisions, which is a wild response for someone who's claiming to refund people, because it implies that he thinks he's the victim here.
Coffee was also glad that Logan was committed to finishing the project. But 6 months later, Logan had not made any progress towards refunding anyone. Was it all a lie? Coffee also points out that Logan had made millions from the sports drink company Logan had set up, Prime. So he definitely had the money. So why didn't he just repay it?
6 months ago, I investigated crypto, but I also said this. I'll follow up in the future to make sure that he actually gives that money away. Logan Paul has not paid back his victims. He hasn't talked about it since he first announced he was going to pay them back. And what's worst of all, he doesn't seem to have a plan in place to refund anyone.
A few months after that, Logan Paul finally came out to explain that he was refunding people, but there might have been an ulterior motive to this. You see, the victims of Crypto Zoo had created a lawsuit against Logan, and as part of Logan's repayment agreement, you had to agree that you wouldn't sue Logan for any money. This was made worse by the fact that you had only 1 month to claim the money back. And on top of all that, Logan announced that he was not going to finish Crypto Zoo after all. Coffee was ultimately positive about the fact that at least the victims will finally see some money back. But it was far from perfect. And it looked like the only reason that Logan is fulfilling his promise is because he's being sued anyway. But Logan did have some positive moments in his career, like when KSI challenged him to a boxing match.
Jake Paul, Logan Paul, any of the Pauls, I don't care.
He launched Prime, a drinks company that has grown to be worth over $1 billion.
Seconds away from a viral moment. Oh my goodness!
Prime Hydration grossed $1.2 billion in revenue. That is insane.
If you've got kids, chances are they're Prime Max.
We launched Prime Energy just this year. No! We also signed the UFC. Blows my mind. And even had a Super Bowl commercial. No way! But I'm blown away at how success has found me in this way. KSI, man, we have a lot to be proud of, and I cannot wait to see where it goes.
And he got engaged.
Okay. Today is the day where I ask the love of my life to marry me. I fell in love with the most beautiful human being I've ever seen in my life. I have been waiting for this day ever since. No, I knew she was the one pretty much instantly. Wish me luck.
My eyes are a little sensitive.
I'm overwhelmed.
Come here.
So you like to get married here? What about engaged? You're the girl of my dreams. I never thought I'd find you. I never want to let you go. I'm sorry I'm being such a pussy. Will you marry me? Oh my God, I'm sobbing.
So what's my thoughts on Logan Paul? It's impressive that he has made millions of dollars. He lives in a beautiful mansion, and a lot of that is credit to his hard work, his willingness to take risks, and his entrepreneurial spirit. He is one of the best marketers I've ever seen. When you look at how he built the Maverick brand, and now the Prime brand.
LoganPaul.com/shop, link in description. LoganPaul.com/shop or link in description. Yeah! I'm gonna get the merch. We're gonna get the merch.
LoganPaul.com/shop.
Oh! This season, we are hydrated!
The official sports drink of the UFC. It's time!
Logan has made a lot of mistakes in his career. He needs to keep learning from them, but the main thing he needs to do is take accountability for his mistakes. His apologies seem to lack true remorse, as Logan appears to sometimes see himself as the real victim. But I do think there is hope for Logan if he can work on building empathy and focus a bit more on helping others rather than on clout, money, and other material things. But the bad things Logan has done doesn't even compare to the dark acts committed by a different YouTuber. David Dobrik changed the YouTube world forever with his 4-minute vlogs, but it seems that he might have sacrificed his friends to achieve that fame and fortune, and as a result, one of his friends almost died. You can click here to watch it. Click it. It's a really good video. Trust me, you will not regret watching this.